Greetings to you in the precious name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Today we will continue to look at the life of Moses. The challenges that Moses faced in his life, how he uh, overcame these challenges, his attitude towards challenges, his attitude towards those who caused problems in his life. Now today we'll talk about the siblings rivalry. Siblings rivalry. Now this is something that is there. Of course, in some families we thank God, children are close to one another till the very end of their lives, very closely knitted. But then in some families it is there. Uh, it is just that they don't acknowledge the existence of this siblings rivalry, and once in a while it will show its ugly head and cause some problems. But in some families it is obvious. Everyone knows. Everyone knows that the brothers sisters just cannot get along with one another. So they know that it is there. Now, sometimes it's just because of jealousy. Sometimes it's because of envy, and there can be many reasons for this siblings rivalry. Let me share with you a couple of reasons. First, sometimes you may have heard this a middle syndrome. Middle syndrome, where you have three children. The first child, no problem, because the eldest. The third child, no problem, is the youngest, or she's the youngest. So the middle child, that's why I call it middle syndrome. The first and the third child, somewhere along the track, they seem to get some extra attention compared to the middle one. I personally counseled this group of children from the this middle group. They say, no, Padre, for my parents I don't exist. Why do you say that? It is always about my elder brother or sister, or it's always about my younger brother or sister. They don't even ask my opinion. They don't ask me what I want. It is always about the elder brother or sister or younger brother or sister. Middle syndrome. Of course, parents, I'm sure parents don't mean to create that kind of feeling. Sometimes unconsciously, sometimes very unconsciously, parents may have created that kind of atmosphere in the family. So the middle child can grow up as though he or she is rejected, and have some kind of ill feeling towards the elder brother or sister or younger brother or sister. Because of the elder brother or younger sister, she was neglected, or he was neglected. So as parents, we need to be very careful. This is where sometimes parents may not be aware. Then there's another reason where parents deliberately cause this kind of problem. Now, I've come across families where parents very openly they compare their children with one another. They say, "Why can't you be like your brother? Why can't you be like your sister? Look, she's so good. Why can't you can't be just 10% of." So we sometimes are very openly we compare and create this kind of very unhealthy atmosphere in the family, causing siblings rivalry. We have got a good story in the Bible. We read of Joseph. Jacob had 12 sons. And for Jacob, Joseph was his blue-eyed boy. Very, very, very special. Very his favorite. Of course, the Bible says because he was the son of Rachel, Benjamin was also son of Rachel. But Joseph took a very special liking for Jacob took a very special liking for Joseph, and he did not do it quietly. He showed it very openly. He showed it very openly, and the brothers all noticed that father loved Joseph more than all of them. And of course, the climax where Jacob made this multicolored coat for Joseph. So he was not hiding his feeling. Jacob was not hiding his feeling towards Joseph and the other sons. For Jacob, hey, this is my favorite son. This is my favorite son. And that caused a very unhealthy family atmosphere. The brothers hated Joseph to the maximum. They even planned to kill. Can you imagine the kind of bitterness, hatred, jealousy that had set into their heart? They said, let us get rid of this brother. Of course, they were talking about his dreams. But it was not. It was more than the dreams, because he was the favorite son of their father. Very, very openly, Jacob did it. As we read that we as parents we must be very careful. Now, if we start showing that kind of favoritism, then our children are going to grow up in a very unhealthy family atmosphere, and they may start. They may not show it when they are young. They will suppress it, but as they grow up, one thing, they might hate the parents for what they had done when they were young, and they might also not relate with their brothers and sisters, because they say, I don't want your father's favorite, your mother's favorite. I was nobody in the house. So we must be very, very careful. This siblings rivalry, as I said, sometimes it is not there. We thank God for that. Sometimes it is there. Sometimes we don't admit, but it is there. Sometimes it's very obvious. And for today, we look at Numbers chapter 12. Numbers chapter 12. Verse 1, we read verse 1 and 2. Miriam and Aaron began to talk against Moses because of his Cushite wife. For he had married a Cushite. Of course, when we just if we just read verse 1, then we can come to conclusion, say it's because of Moses' marriage. Because Moses' wife was Zipporah. She may have died. And now Moses marries this Cushite lady. And Miriam, it says, because of a Cushite wife, they start talking against Moses. If you just read verse 1, you will come to the conclusion that the Cushite lady was the cause of all the problem, the siblings' rivalry. It's easy sometimes we put the blame on someone from outside. This always happens, right? It's because of my sister-in-law, it's because of my brother-in-law. Before we were all so close, we always put the blame. Easy to blame, blame the in-laws, brother-in-law or sister-in-law. And sometimes it's like that in life. Sometimes if you don't really sit down and analyze, he might not know the root cause of the problem. This Cushite woman was not the cause of the siblings' rivalry. She was not the cause of the problem uh, among the brothers and sisters, Miriam, Aaron, and Moses. But the blame was placed on the Cushite lady. So you must be careful before jumping into conclusion. You want to solve a problem, you must know the cause of the problem. Sometimes more than often when you're dealing with a problem, people might not tell you what the real cause, what the root. They'll try to give you all kind of reasons, and they try to divert. But we need to prayerfully deal with the root cause of the problem. The problem here was not the Cushite lady. We read verse 2. As the Lord spoken only through Moses. So as I said earlier, the Cushite lady here was more like a scapegoat. But the real problem was Miriam and Aaron. Because there was this deep down in their heart, they were craving for power or recognition, honor. Now we must keep in mind that Aaron was the elder brother of Moses. Miriam was the elder sister of Moses. And of course, we must give credit to Miriam. She was instrumental in saving the life of Moses. And Aaron was there with Moses. Every time when Moses went out to meet with Pharaoh, Aaron went along with him. And now suddenly, most probably they felt that everyone is looking up to Moses. And who is Moses? He was the youngest of the three. So you have an elder sister, you have an elder brother. People are actually not looking up to them. People may have looked up to them. But mostly they felt that they were not getting the same recognition, honor, like what their youngest brother was receiving. Now, the problem was not with the Cushite lady. The problem was with Aaron and Miriam, their attitude. So they said, as the Lord only spoken through Moses. So they were actually questioning Moses' authority. Hey, God has also spoken through us. Now this can happen in any family. Instead of rejoicing, actually Aaron and Miriam should have rejoiced over all the blessings that Moses was receiving, how he was living. They said, hey, it's my brother. It's my younger brother. Oh, Moses is my younger brother. How about the people knew? Oh, this is Moses' sister. This is Moses' brother. They should have been grateful to God. And of course, they were very supportive of Moses initially. And I know why this spirit came in. The spirit of jealousy, spirit of envy came in. And then what is the siblings' rivalry? How did Moses react to it? Did Moses confront them? Challenge them? Did Moses set them from the team? They're working as a team now. Did Moses say, both of you get out? I don't need both of you. Now I've got Joshua with me. Both of you get out. Did Moses say that? Sometimes we like to confront. I always believe that sometimes confrontation doesn't solve any problem. Of course, we can talk. Talking is always better. But if you want to confront, it will never solve a problem. It will only make it even worse. But Moses took the other part. He said, I'm just going to surrender the whole thing to God. And this is why we read of Moses, chapter 12, verse 3. Now Moses was a very humble man, very, very humble. Can you imagine the brother and sister were rebelling against him? He did not he did not retaliate. He said, you can say what you want to say. You are free to say what you want to say. But it's very humble. And that's very easy to, humility is not a sign of weakness. Always keep that in mind. Just because someone is humble, someone is willing to listen to all the rubbish we say, doesn't mean that person is actually weak. That could be strength. And humility was strength of Moses. Now we know people said all kind of things about Moses. They were grumbling and complaining, and now his own brother and sister were supposed to stand by him. They started grumbling. They started complaining. So they started questioning Moses. But what did Moses do? He was a humble man. He says, more humble than anyone else on the face of the earth. So mostly Moses, he said, God, I'm not going to fight my brother or sister. He just left it to God. He must have just left it to God. Knowing Moses, he could have just left it to God and said, God, it's your problem, it's not my problem. I just surrender my brother, sister to you. You deal with them in your own way. Now, when this siblings rivalry, I always believe it's no point confronting. If you can talk it, fine. Sometimes you know that it's no point talking. So what do? You just surrender it to God and say, God, you take care, you handle the situation. We don't know when, how, but God will know how to handle the whole issue. So Moses just left it to God and said, God, you handle. Verse 4, at once the Lord said to Moses, Aaron and Miriam, come out of the tent of meeting, all three of you. Now God was acting. Moses was not acting. Now I always believe that when God acts, that is the best. We can make a lot of mistakes when we react to a situation. We can make a lot of mistakes when we react out of emotion. But when we learn to be humble and patient and allow God to act, God knows how to handle the situation. And God called all three of them assembled. And God rebuked Aaron and Miriam. We read it, we know that the main cause of the problem was Miriam. Surprisingly, I know sisters can be very protective of their younger brother. I know sisters, I know how Rebecca used to be very protective of her brother Jeffrey, my son. For her, Anna was at the work. I know if Anna is there, she doesn't. For her, Anna is the world for her. So usually sisters are very, very protective of her brothers. I know what happened here. Miriam was full of jealousy, and God punished Miriam with leprosy. Verse 13. So when after Miriam got leprosy, Aaron asked Moses to pray, and Moses said, so Moses prayed. So Moses cried out to the Lord, "Oh God, please heal her." And God did heal her, even though after a few days, God said, go through that leprosy for a few days. God responded to the prayer of Moses. Now, that's one beautiful thing of Moses. He did not say she deserves it. Let her suffer. No. Moses prayed for his sister. Now, siblings rivalry is there. It can be, yes. If it's not there, praise God. If it's not there, but we must be very, very sensitive. We must not allow that to slowly grow and destroy the relationship that we have with one another among brothers and sisters. Now, if there is something, then take it to God in prayer, like Moses. and no point fighting over it. You'll only cause more damage to the relationship. Sometimes to just surrender it to God and carry on with what God has called you to do is the best solution. And God will take care of your challenges, or the challenge that you're facing in your family, among your brothers and sisters. So like Moses, surrender your sibling rivalry, if you think there is one in your family, to God in prayer. And God will take care of it. God bless you. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.